people of the tube, and this is kind of unexpected, but I did want to do this. I've been waiting many years for this film, the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. We have all waited for this movie. He finally finished it, and now it's released, and you can watch it. Let me tell you something. I sat through this movie. I have been a die-hard Angry Video Game Nerd fan since 2006. I've seen every episode he's ever done and most of his special features, all his side videos. I was a die-hard fan. I will admit, I don't like his new stuff. He's really not funny anymore. His new episode, Beetlejuice, had no funny parts in it at all. And he's not as good as he used to be. And this movie is 2 hours long, and it revolves around one joke. Him finally reviewing the E.T. game. That legendary game that was supposedly buried in New Mexico. Well, he does. Finally. Well, anyway, the plot of this movie, of his movie, is everyone's pressuring him, and he finally says, I'll tell you what, I'm going to prove the legends are wrong, and I'll go out there and I'll dig up, we'll see if they are actually down there. And if they are, I will finally review it. So they go and they look for him, and then the government intervenes. There's way more to this movie than that. What I do have to, I don't want to spoil it for you just like I don't spoil most shit. What I do have to tell you is the cameos in this movie are actually really interesting. A lot of them, if you are a die-hard fan of his and most reviewers on YouTube, or the guy with the glasses.com, you will know most of the people in there. Pat the NES Punk is in there, the Nostalgia Critic's in there, several other different cameos. The man who created the original E.T. game is in there. The movie itself had a budget of over $300,000 that his fans gave to him. And it does show in a lot of parts. Some of the acting is decent. Some of the jokes seem more like his show jokes, and the problem is 2 hours revolving with him trying to make jokes. Half of them, well over half, are not funny at all. They kind of leave you, but they're not. And there was like one. I laughed maybe one time this entire film. It's not a great movie, but it's no means horrendous. This is not a very enjoyable movie. I will admit that this movie is not as bad as I thought it'd be. I will admit that. But it's not a good movie. $300,000 for, and how many years of making this movie. And I think he could have done better. And it's not nowhere near horrible. If you're a big fan of his, go ahead and watch it. I'm disappointed with the movie like I thought I would be. When I seen the trailer, I thought I'd be disappointed in it. And I am. But a lot of the film isn't bad. The special effects are extremely cheesy. And what's funny is I don't know if I should like them because they're bad. Like, a lot of things are good because they're bad. B films are good because they're bad. It's about the old Godzilla films. Their special effects of a guy in a rubber suit and stuff. It's good because they're bad effects. And they look, they're timeless as bad as they are. Well, the same here, except I don't know if it's clever that they use that type of stuff. Like the old Godzillas were, they're just cheap. Like, this movie, it bounces. Like, the editing is really off on a lot of scenes. Some of the special effects look like shit from, like, Leprechaun 4. Ugh. But then some of it looks high budget. And then a lot of it looks like it came from a Power Rangers episode. So, I don't know. The movie bounces around a lot on special effects, from shitty to decent to kids show. And the plot is ridiculous. The characters are ridiculous. He, of course, is the best in the movie. He's a nerd. That's the whole point. His token black sidekick is kind of pointless. I don't like him at all. Not because he's black, just because he's not a good character. And the chick character really didn't need any part in this movie, and she was almost completely pointless. The only part she was really useful in was driving for a minute. There's a lot of scenes in this movie that could have been removed to make it shorter than 2 hours. But then again, Nostalgia Critic's movie, Boldly Flee, was close to 3 or over. No, it's actually like 3 hours and 45 minutes. So I can't complain too much about the length when I did watch that movie all the way through. Now that I've seen it, I don't have to watch it again. I'm kind of glad that I don't have to. But in the end, I'm glad I seen it. Because now, I'm at peace. I seen his movie, and I'm still going to watch his shit. But I still think that he could have done way better, and his new episodes could be better. But he doesn't have a lot of time to make them better. I understand. It's not a terrible movie, but it's not a good movie either. That's all I gotta say. I can't even give it a thumbs up. I'm not gonna give it a thumbs down either. I'm gonna give it a fist. But that's it. So, peace.